Guardian the other day because they were doing an article on the moving of the hand. I don't know if you saw it, the latest edition of Jilly Cooper's Riders, the TV version of which Marcus starred in. They've re-released the book, and the famous book cover had a man's hand on a lady's bottom, and she was wearing joggers. And for the re-release, they've moved the hand further up the bottom. And I wondered, Marcus, if you have an opinion on where is the ideal part of a woman's bottom for a hand to go?
Well, I think the ideal position for a hand, why do they do that? But all I can say is for Jilly Cooper, what fantastic publicity, because it wasn't just in the Guardian, it was splashed across everywhere. And I've met Jilly, and it's almost a shame that it is a shame, without question, that Jilly Cooper didn't adapt the TV version. Had she done, perhaps it would have been different. In terms of the hand, I don't think it really matters where it is, as long as it's got feeling. That's all.
I think that's a sage piece of advice.
Yes.
And we're going to throw the questions. Oh, hand has already shot up.
Yeah, you were in the Big Wars movie playing Von Styler. Did you actually meet Peter Cushing when you played the part?
Yeah, Peter Cushing?
Yeah.
I did meet, yes, I've worked with Peter Cushing on two things. One was a Hammer House of Mystery and Suspense, and the other was, what you're talking about. And Peter Cushing was, all I can do is sit here and be honest. And for me to tell you he was such a gentleman. I'm telling you the truth. He was such a sweet, gentle man, and he'd done so much. He had nothing to prove. Yeah, he was mature in years, but yeah, he was very, very impressive. I'm not talking about qualities as an actor. He was just a lovely man. You'd be proud to call your grandfather or whatever. He really stuck out, because I remember John Mills as well, but I didn't quite get the same impression from John Mills, not that I should have done, but Peter Cushing, his gentility was remarkable.
Well, aside from actors as people, because we always remember the actors we enjoyed working with, but in terms of pure sort of quality as an actor, who would you say are the people that you've worked with or against or opposite that have just purely in terms of the acting have been the most memorable, would you say?
Well, I haven't really done that much, I'm not sure I'm qualified to judge. All I can tell you is if you're with someone, and it's got to be believable, and it's got to be organic, and it's got to come from a place where you're not thinking about what it is you're saying. And there are certain, one of the most mesmeric and powerful actors I've ever worked with was Oliver Reed, who I was a little nervous because I had to kill him. And he was actually, for the first 3 weeks of this, was something called A Ghost in Monte Carlo. It was one of these Barbara Cartland films, and he was the main villain of the piece. And as you all know, Oliver Reed probably had a bit of a reputation for having a little bit of alcohol. And you didn't know that. For the first 3 weeks, he was sober. And when he was sober, he was a big guy, 15 and a half, 16 stone. And in the fight sequences, he'd always come at you with a determination. In a room this size, Oliver Reed could stand up here and he'd just whisper, and everyone would look at this guy because he had such magnetism and such strength, and he was so still. Oliver Reed, there's a thread there which you can't cut. And if you weren't there with Oliver Reed, he'd probably slap you about the face of it, which is what I had to do to him. And he's insulted my lady love, and I had to slap him over the face with a leather glove. And I slapped him. I thought, better hold it back a bit. It's rehearsal. What am I going to do? And he kept on asking me to hit him harder. And it was a rehearsal, so I really whacked him in the end, but that's what he needed. You know, people need certain things, and his investment in the part, and his power, and his charisma, and that magnetism was unlike anyone else I've ever worked with. He really would fill a hall with a whisper.
Yeah, quite a character. So we need more help. Yes.
Yeah, Sam Raimi, you mentioned before, he's just down in New Zealand right now doing the new Ash Evil Dead TV show.
Yes.
What's the chances Lord Arth might travel through time?
Well, I tell you what, you know, it's not all roses and champagne. In fact, there's dead daisies and stout, really. But I found myself in the bathroom the other day out of a slight desperation, and I actually have this small production company that make these travel and adventure films, and which is wonderful, great. I sold it all because it was getting a little out of date in a job lot for £3,000, and that wasn't really enough because to replace it, well, when that will happen, God only knows. Anyway, the point is, I didn't have anything to film myself apart from my wife's iPhone. And to answer your question, there was me trying not to beg Sam for a job. Hi, it's a spinach chin here from the mists of time, some bullshit, whatever. But he didn't reply, so I think the chances are none. Now, what do? You work with people, and that's what you're supposed to do as an actor. As an actor, you're very often told to, when you get older, to try and get hold of people you used to work with, because there's Biggles, the guy who directed Biggles, a guy called John Huff. I mean, I did 3 films for him, and again, loyalty is important. So I thought I'd do something just relaxed and relatively informative and slightly quirky and maybe a little bit charming, but it didn't work.
It's not 5 seasons planned, so...
Yeah, but I did see the script breakdown, and there's no Lord Arthur in there, which is a great shame. Yet, thank you.
Yes, yeah. The campaign starts here.
Well, I did it. You can only do what you can do, but this is what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But you do it because it's something you have to do. Time and tide waits for no man.
Sell yourself, yeah, absolutely.
Well, you have to a certain degree.
Yeah. Another question. We have some more hands because there was a flurry right at the beginning. So let's see the hands going up.
Oh, this enthusiasm is overwhelming.
Well, I'll ask one then. It's because people are shy. I'll ask one. So what have you got? What are you working on at the moment? Have you got anything going on?
Yeah, I've actually just finished something called 2 of a Kind, which is it's a small independent film about this old man, that's me, old Rick, comes back to try and convince young Rick that he's him from the future, and if he doesn't mend his ways, stop the abuse of various things and his scurrilous lifestyle, he's going to be in trouble. He might not get as far as old Rick. So it's a bit brutal. It's a bit brutal.
It's a nice idea. If you
Yeah,
visit yourself
it's perhaps not particularly original, but it doesn't really matter. So I have to teach, I have to terrify, and I have to encourage. Because he's inherited some money, and he's got into bad ways. I have to convince him I've been there before, which of course I haven't.
So you've just finished filming.
Yes, they just finished filming that. So I'm not quite sure. Well, that will be festivals initially, and then presumably they'll try and get some distribution for that. And then I'm trying to piece something together called 2 Men and a Map, which we've got the first 2 episodes. I told you I was travel.
Yeah.
First is from Peru, the second is from Nepal, and we we have like to try and encourage a commission on that one from someone, but that's just, it's nice to get away, it's nice to escape. Escape is fairly important, whether it's that or whether it's this. I'm escaping today. I don't have to take the dogs for a walk. I don't have to go shopping in the London Road, you know.
Well, we're very glad that you've escaped in this direction. I've been asked to... We'll have one more. We'll have one more question.
Sorry, what's the part you most wanted you never got?
Part you most wanted you never got?
Jesus.
Good answer. And for those of you paying attention to the panel before this one, as we know, he's on the phone. So Marcus is going to be around later, so those of you that had a question that you're too shy to ask in public, which I totally understand, we'll be able to address it to him in person. But for now, and for his time on the stage, Marcus Gill, thank you very much. Thank you, fellas. What's happening now, Charles? Oh, thanks, mate.
A couple of items we're going to auction just now, just very quickly. Gavin over here, who's sat down over here, who has not only brought the Daleks today, but he's a very clever boy. Who's brought this month's Doctor Who magazine? Well, Gavin is the man who's designed the cover, and he has donated. In fact, come here and show off your work. You can hold this up for me. How beautiful is that? And we're only auctioning them separately, but this one is also inside the magazine. So that's there as well. A beautiful design of all the Dalek ships, which is fantastic. And all ships. Okay. So we'll do this one first. Right, we'll do this one first, right? Very well done, by the way. What a wonderful piece of work that is, just fantastic. Paint, wow, and that one as well. That's wonderful, what a great piece of work. Right, what shall we start this off at? And then this is the one off, yes?
Yes.
Yeah, very much, yeah. So, £10, does I see £10 anywhere? Anyone? Yes, we have £10, but we don't want to sell it for £10, we want to sell it for more than that. Who would get... Pardon? £20. Oh, straight in there, like that. Can we see any higher than £20? I want to go 25. 25? Oh, just beat you to then. 30? And we'll get 30, we'll get 25 here. Anyone go for 30? And Gavin will sign it as well. So 25 it stands at. Anyone want to go 30? 20, 28? No? 30, we'll get 30 there. Okay, anyone advance of 30? Sir, you tempted? You know you want it, huh? 35, fantastic. It's getting a bit of a bidding war now. You want to go any higher than 35? Any new bidders in the room? 35, I'll take 37. Just to push it, it's for good cause, so you know. 40, okay, 40. I was offering you 37, but you took 4, that's fine. So, but go to auctions, learn how they work, okay, so. £40, I see £40 in the room. Any advance of 40? I'm not going to offer any more, just bid what you want. Any advance of 40? Anyone else? Over here at 40. £40, going once, going twice. Sold the gentleman here for £40. Thank you very much. Now here is this beautiful one. Now, you know, actually you missed the trick here. You could have really wound up Doctor Who fans. If just somewhere here you put a little Peter Cushing. They'd be flipping tables all over the country. No!
It has already been noted that those type of Daleks aren't in the Dalek division.
Oh, super. Well, yeah, well, really good job. Okay, so we will start off this one. I expect this might be a little bit more, so we'll start this at £10 again. Does he £10 in the room? Anyone? £10. 10 over there. You can beat it again, you've got to be faster. Okay, any advance on 10? 15, we'll get 15. Any advance? 20? £20, any advance on 20? Does I see any more? 20. 25 in the room, and 25 anyone? 25, you beaten that time. 30, 30 over there. Any advance on 30? Does I see any higher than 30? It's got to go for the same as the other one. 35? 35. It's got to be worth at least £5 more than the other one. So 35, stands at 35. Do I see 40 anywhere in the room? 35 with this gentleman here. Do I see 40? Come on, someone. £40, yes, yes, excellent. Okay, I see an advance of 40. 45, he's gone to 45. 50, £50. Any advance in 50? 55, oh, these two. 60? Oh. 65. Oh, excellent. 70. Whoa, it's £70. £100. £100, any advance at 100? £100. Going once, going twice. £100 to the gentleman at the bar. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Wonderful, thank you so much, that's wonderful, you guys, that's a great contribution to the charity today, that's wonderful. So, raffle tickets. Pound strip, raffle tickets, okay, yeah, are you going to go round with them? Yes. You still get some, we're doing a raffle later, buy a pound strip, raffle tickets, please donate, again, all proceeds are going to charity, okay? Right, okay, Toby, are you ready, are you freshened and had a pee and all that sort of stuff? And don't run, it's fine, it's okay, don't panic, don't want you getting all flustered, it's well alright. I'll hand you back over to Toby, he's going to bring our next guest on, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. I think Charlie should have done all of the auction better than me. No, that's okay. Good, well ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to interview another guest. And it's one I've known for a while, so I think we'll have fun, but let's have the introductory video first.
I've been in a rut, back and forth in the heart like a wheel. But without you around, so uncomfortable is how it feels. Every time we near, trouble disappears under the ground. When you go to the silver clouds, hanging around.
As it says on the tin, ladies and gentlemen, it's Andrew Smith, writer of Full Circle.
Everybody say, big finish! Thank you, which really matters.
Fantastic. Well, yes, indeed, and writer of Full Circle doesn't do you justice, because after a bit of a sabbatical, you're back to the typewriter, typing the words interior TARDIS again.
Yes, oh my God, thanks.
Well, I mean, I suppose we start at the beginning. You're the youngest person to ever write for Doctor Who.
To Ben Aronovich's chagrin, he told me.
Oh, really? Oh, does he curse you? Like, bloody Andrew Smith.
Yeah, little bugger. He would have been the youngest, yeah.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, you've got that place, and I suspect always will have. And also the only the first, because Mark Platt, I guess, is another actually sort of bona fide fan of the show that sort of went. You weren't part of the writers' firmament or anything like that. You sent in a script.
No, I just looked to become a writer and keeping my fandom very quiet. Or Anthony Reid found me out.
Yeah.
When so I sent the script in to Robert Holmes, and then after that I sent the script in to Anthony Reid, the script editor, and he sent back some lovely penciled notes. And I had a line in there about the isomorphic controls of the TARDIS and the Doctor saying he'd lied to Sutek or something. Tony had written alongside that and went, aha, you're a fan. So I found out.
Yeah, so your second script with the Daleks fighting the Cybermen on Gallifrey with the Sultarans visiting completely gave you away. So, does that mean when you approached Christopher H. Bigmead, did you consciously hide the fact that you were a fan?
Did I? I didn't go out my way to hide it, but one thing is, I wasn't doing it because I was a fan, and as a fan I wanted to write with Doctor Who. I was a writer, and I wanted to write for TV, and I was sending in ideas to other shows, and getting some of things like Shoestring, and getting responses, but then they do a production. Whereas Doctor Who was there year after year, and it took me 3 or 4 years until they said, okay, we want you to do this one. And the reason for that was it was there after 4 years, 3 or 4 years, Doctor Who was still yeah.
And were they when it went on and you actually got to the point where you were having a script seriously considered and ultimately produced? Well, I mean, was the look on their face priceless when you walked in and they discovered how old you were? That happened slightly prior to that.
Yes, I was interviewed in Radio Free Scarrow a couple of years ago, and they said, that I'd tell people my age. And I hadn't considered it before, and I said, well, I didn't. But then you wouldn't write and say, oh, I'd like you to write, here's an idea, by the way, I'm 23. And by the same token, you wouldn't write and say, by the way, I'm 15 or I'm 16. You just say, there you go, there's a script idea. I mean, Chris would have known, because I'd already been down, Douglas Adams had invited me down the year before to see the film Your Picture of the Pit and have a chat with him about writing or whatever. And he'd handed me over to Chris. In fact, what became Full Circle was actually a storyline idea that I sent into Douglas that Chris picked up. And my age wasn't a thing to be. It might have been to others. It was I wrote a play for television shortly after Full Circle, and there's an article appeared in the TV Times that said I was 23, and I was speaking to Robert Love, the head of drama, about the play the day after, I think. And I said, oh, see in the TV Times it said I'm 23, where do you have that from? I said, oh, I just thought, that sort of stuff. And I generally was taking the older one. But he said, no, I was asking how old you were, and I said 23. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? I said, no, actually I'm 18. Oh, okay. And then after that, we were in production at the time, and I'd met with the director, and I'd watched the director, and things like that. And then met with the director after that conversation, and I was totally patronised.
Really?
Yes, yeah. Once when I was a teenager, I was totally patronised in a way that I wasn't on Doctor Who.
And you hadn't been when they thought you were 23?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so when you're
for one thing, they wouldn't buy me any drinks. They stopped buying any drinks. 18, hello. Yeah.
Shocking. But when you were doing Doctor Who, of course, it must have been you were a fan, writing the show. Matthew Waterhouse, cast as Adric, was a fan, and actually Bernard Padden, who plays Tylos, Adric's mate. Bernard's an old mate of mine, also a fan. So it's like a sort of mini convention where the guests are on stage.
But we never discussed it with each other. I think we're all doing the same thing. I know Bernard tells a story about him and Matthew sneaking off to watch Destiny of the Daleks in the side room or something. But it was sneaking off, because you wouldn't, this idea of being a fan and being involved in making the show just wasn't a thing, exactly, it's a requirement, But, I don't remember, Matthew, bless him, has come out with a couple of stories like lying on the grass and quizzing each other on Doctor Who. It didn't happen. I don't remember us having any conversations about the history of the show or anything like that.
Right. So are you saying that the stories contained within Blue Box Koi are perhaps more fictionalised than Matthew?
Let's say our recollection is different. But there's a very recent thing. It talks about a couple of conversations around the recording of the commentary, which went long before he wrote the book, and that's completely fiction.
Right.
Yeah. But there we are.
There we are. You've heard it here first.
Yeah.
So, would you have gone to location to see it being filmed? Was the writer allowed?
Yeah, I went to the whole thing, and John was aware that I was interested in the technical side of things. I was interested in program making as well as writing, and
even out of his way to sort of see that, you know, I came along and location filming for 3 days in July 1980. Things like when Full Circle was in the studio, I was in there for both recording blocks. And John arranged me to go watch the editing of Meglos, so I sent me to Studley when they were editing parts of that, and seeing how that process works. So John just helped me with that whole thing and better understanding the whole program making process. He was great. He and Chris were fabulous.
Well, of course, because obviously he was in the news relatively recently, John, because of the biography. Did you read the biography of John Nathan Turner?
I did, and I contributed to it. You know, I'd met Richard Marston, the writer, at a Doctor Who magazine party, and you know, he asked if I you know, contribute to the book, and so again he interviewed me on the phone, and I told this really, you know, really nice story about John. We had, back home in Glasgow, we had an insurance guy who came around the house every Friday afternoon. That's kind of how it happened back in those days. And he mentioned, you know, my parents mentioned it when I was working on Doctor Who, and he mentioned he had a nephew who's a big Doctor Who fan who's suffering from Down syndrome. And I researched that, and a really terrible condition. And then I was down, I think, for the second studio block, and I mentioned this to John, just in passing, really, about, you know, I think we're talking all, you know, fans, and I mentioned, you know, as kids got Down syndrome, was a huge fan apparently. And John, on the spot, said, hang on, I'll be back. And he went away and he got a load of photographs, and he got the Doctor Who annual for that year that hadn't been published at that point. And he had a Polaroid camera, and he said, go around the set and take photographs of the cast, take Tom and Matthew and all that. And we'll get them to autograph the photographs, and autograph the annual and these other photographs, and take them back for this kid. So I did that, and then I remember specifically taking a photograph of Matthew instead of the TARDIS, and I remember being very, very self-conscious being on set, taking photographs. A lot of voice meant to hope to God no one thinks I've made this up, so I can get some pictures on set. But then I took them back, and the insurance guy, he brought his nephew around, and he was just absolutely gobsmacked when he saw this, all this stuff that had been provided for him and signed by the Doctor and everyone else. And that was John, you know, that was his first reaction to that. Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
So I have to ask, Full Circle is great. It's a fabulous story. It's a very clever idea, very good script, lovely direction. So I think it can be judged by everyone as a success. So it begs the question, Andrew Smith, why didn't we see your name on another 4 episodes of Doctor Who?
Well, there were 2 other stories that went to the scene breakdown stage. I was commissioned for the next season a story called The Torsen Triumvirate, about which I remember very little. And I don't have the paperwork anymore, otherwise it would probably be a lost story. I remember it was set on Earth, it was about an invasion. I remember, for some reason, I remember a scene set in an office. I don't know why I remember that, but... and it was about, I know there were 3 things that had to come together. Quite detail beyond that, I don't remember. And that got the scene breakdown. And at the run out of the time, Anthony Root, who go over as script editor, is saying not to go any further than that. I don't know why. And then when Colin was starting, Eric invited me down, not in the back of Full Circle, but I'd written a radio play about a marathon runner that had done really well. And Eric had seen the script for that and really liked it. So on the strength of that, he asked me to come in. I went down, Resurrection of the Daleks was filming at the time, and took me to lunch and said he liked a Sontaran story. And I think he mentioned putting the Mary Celeste in it as well. So I went away and I came up with a storyline for a story called The First Sontarans. And again, that went to scene breakdown stage. But again, that I do know. I know I didn't get any specific reason why that wasn't taken further. But what I do know now is that Robert Holmes was brought in to do the 2 Doctors. So you got Robert Holmes doing a story versus me doing a Sontaran story. It was a no-brainer, isn't it? Really? But happily, I've got to revisit that story, and it's come out as a Big Finish lost story.
Well, before we get to Big Finish, for whom you've become rather prolific, there's this massive gap in between where this, you know, protege, this you know, young writer, you know, having stuff produced for television at a precociously young age, abandons it all and becomes a policeman. So
yeah.
how did that path?
Well, as a professional writer,
itself?
for 4.5 years, and did these other things, did a lot of comedy work, comedy sketch work particularly. And I just got, it was doing that, I was very young, I thought it was very solitary. The institute